in today's video, we're doing something a little different. I put a poll out maybe a week and a half ago on my YouTube community post asking if you guys would like me to incorporate Wine Wednesdays. So this is that video. This is the first ever Wine Wednesday video. So thank you for everyone who voted. I think it was like a 78% of yes. So Wine Wednesday is going to be basically we drink wine. It's basically going to be girl talk. Talk about motherhood. Talk about relationship topics that's hot on the internet. So we're going to be talking about that. Just anything that you would normally talk with your friends over a glass of wine. That's what we're going to be doing on Wine Wednesdays. So yeah, that's what today's video is going to be about. Hey. You can just throw it out. How you get out? You guys, I have to do a life update. We have a puppy now, which I hope she don't move this camera. Mackenzie, come get her. She leave out herself. Anyway, so yeah, that's what today's video is going to be about. I don't have any wine today because I'm filming this in the middle of the day. I'm actually on my lunch break. I actually got like 10 minutes to film this, so it's going to be a short video. But I don't have wine today. I'm drinking kombucha. And just because I'm on my lunch break, it's not the only reason. I'm also doing a 40-day fast from wine and alcohol. So yeah, we're going to be, for the next maybe 4 or 5 Wine Wednesdays, it's probably not going to be any wine. Okay, so yeah. I also have a life update coming up after this video. One of the life updates is the freaking puppy. So you'll see that coming up. And yeah, so let's get started into our Wine Wednesdays. Okay, so today's topic is going to be not really too juicy. It's just going to be like my background of how I became a single mom without going into too much detail. And I do want to set a disclaimer. This is not a bashing of Mackenzie's father or anything. I'm just telling my story because I know a lot of people, because I never actually, like all my videos on YouTube, I've never actually said anything about Mackenzie's father or anything. So we're going to do that in today's video, okay? So let's take a sip. And cheers. Mackenzie, are you listening? She's not listening. She's listening, but she acting like she ain't listening. Anyway. So, for reference, if you are new to this channel, my name is Jasmine. I'm 30 years old. I have a daughter who is 8 years old. She's about to be 9 in 3 months. So yeah. And I'm a single mom. I've been a single mom for 9 years. Well, no, for 8 years. It depends on what you define a single mom. I think a single mom is just a mom that's for the first few. I'm doing too much. Anyways, here we are. So before Mackenzie, I'll start off with like the year before Mackenzie was born. So reference. So I was in college. I was at Southeastern Louisiana University, majoring in biology. I believe I was a sophomore. One day I went to the gas station to put gas in my car. I had a car, my own car in my own apartment when I was in college, just for reference. And one day I went to, had to be in January because I remember it being cold outside. Ooh, excuse me. So I went to the gas station, ended up meeting this guy. He asked to pump my gas. And I should have known something then because you ain't offer to pay for it, like pay for my gas. So I should have known something then, but he just offered to pump it and we exchanged numbers. So in talking to get to know him, I realized he was, found out he was a little bit older than me. He's like 6 years older than me. I had great conversation. He was okay looking. Yeah, he was saying that he's actually, his family lived in Hammond and he's from Hammond. His family had a nice, beautiful house. He was saying that he owned a house, like he said it was right across from the gas station. Turned out that was a lie. His whole existence was a lie. He was saying that he lived with his parents to help them out medically, like for health reasons and stuff like that. So whatever. So we was talking. Long story short, we end up being physical. McKenzie, what you doing? We end up being becoming sexual. It didn't take long for that, between that and me ending up pregnant. Yeah, it was like maybe a month, or maybe I would say even a month or 2 months. Yeah, I think it was like maybe 2 months, and then I ended up being pregnant. Y'all, I didn't know. So in my early 20s, I didn't track my periods, and I wasn't very aware of like ovulation cycles and all of that. So yeah, so I didn't know. And then and I'm not blaming him for it, because it's a two-way street. Like, we both was in the bed together. So yeah, long story short, I ended up getting pregnant. And the day I found out, I took the pregnancy test, found out I was pregnant, bawling in tears, because this whole time, if you ever had a child, you know, you still get your period symptoms, but they're just a little, sometimes they feel the same. So you're thinking, I was super excited. I'm like, yeah, my period about to come on, yeah, but it never came. And I took the pregnancy test and I found out I was pregnant, so I was just devastated. The first person I told was my cousin Shamika, and she was just like saying it was gonna be alright. And fun fact, I didn't even tell my parents that I was pregnant. He ended up telling my parents that I was pregnant. So yeah, he called them. So yeah. So that's how I ended up getting pregnant with Mackenzie. 8 years ago. Well, 9 years ago, because you know you have to carry 9 months. So anyway, well, yeah, that's how that happened. The stuff hit the fan after me finding out that I was pregnant. Okay, so he would use I think he was using his parents' vehicles, and I was thinking that it was his, and it was just, he didn't have no vehicle. He was dropping me off I was one of those girls being dropped off at work while I was pregnant, just lying. Then I'm not gonna go too much into details, so I'm just gonna be broad with it. Lying, drug issues, was previously in jail. Just all of this came out after. Mind you, I got pregnant way earlier on, so I didn't really know him that much. So I'm learning all this and it's too late because now I'm pregnant. In which I would say I think my situation is different as a single mom, because I was never in love with him. He was just good company to have, and for the sex, I guess the sex was good. So that's honestly why it was never like, oh my god, I'm pregnant, and oh my god, I'm pregnant, I want to be with him, I want to marry. It was never none of that. When I found out I'm pregnant, I'm like, okay, how am I gonna take care of it? I already knew it was on me. How am I gonna take care of this child? So that's how I think my situation is different from others, because of course there's like feelings for the other parent. I never had any of that. I was detached from the beginning. So yeah. So long story short, and one day he even trashed my apartment, and because I was living in him at the time, he trashed my apartment. I was working 2 jobs at the time while in school. And I'm like, yeah, you know what? This not gonna work. And I ended up having to get a restraining order against him. And he ended up going to jail for something else. I don't even know what he in jail for. Honestly, I never, to be honest with y'all, he just doesn't exist to me. And as y'all can see how I move, he just doesn't exist to me. Wish him the best. But yeah, so moved back to Baton Rouge. I ended up getting a full-time job at a pediatric clinic. You know, working with patients and like as a patient representative, and I did that for like a year. So I sat up for like a year. Then I ended up going to going back to school, but this time I went to Southern University, and I think this when they had lunch there, it was fully online. So I decided to graduate. Decided to get a degree in criminal justice, which originally my major was biology. I was just going to do forensic science with that. So I was still going to be in the criminal field or criminal justice field, just a different avenue. So I was like, well, yeah, maybe I can just do this instead, which everything works out in God's timing. Everything happens for a reason. So end up graduating from Southern with criminal justice, while working full time, and while a full time student, and while working full time, because I had to take care of my child. So yeah, and we've been that's how it's been ever since. So yeah, of course I had my ups and downs, my trials and tribulations, but I put my trust in God. And then the hardest, honestly, that like before I got pregnant and while I was pregnant with Kenzie, that was not even the hardest time of my life. The hardest time to date that I can say of my life was the moment I graduated from college. So mind you, I told y'all I was working full time, and I finally got my degree, right? So of course I'm thinking, I'm finished, now everything is about to make a turn for the better, and it took a turn for the worse. And I was in a relationship at the time, and I was actually living with a guy that I was with in high school. That was just a hot mess, dealing with cheating and all of that stuff, and ended up losing that apartment. So I ended up having to move back with my parents. And the job I was working, this pediatric job, my coworkers love them to death. Still to this day, I talk to them every now and then, love them to death. But the job itself, I think I was only making $10 an hour, and this is in like 2014. Like that was crazy. And then just the management, just the way we were treated. And we did a good amount of work. Like we were actually talking to the patients and talking to their moms and stuff. So I think we should have been compensated more and been treated better than we were treated. And that job, was not for me. And mind you, I just graduated, so I'm like trying to figure out what I need to do or what I can do to better my situation. And honestly, before I got into the field I am in now, I honestly didn't know anything about healthcare fraud. At that moment, I was trying to figure out how to put my experience with my education, which is my experience was healthcare, my education was criminal. So I just typed in Google, how can you put healthcare and criminal justice together? And healthcare fraud popped up. And so from then on, I had started applying for jobs for healthcare fraud, and that's where I'm at right now. In that field, and like I said earlier, I think God does everything for a reason, and I'm just so happy about it. And I've been taking care of my daughter ever since. Of course, I've been in and out of not relationships, but of course I've been talking to people here and there. But yeah, my mission was, because whenever you hear a single mom, people automatically think broke, need help, welfare, and all of that. I just always wanted to change that narrative. Just because you're a single mom, that you don't have to be struggling, right? And it's always better to be a parent to a child or children with one sane person, rather to be in a house with two parents and both of y'all going at it and both of y'all acting insane and not thinking logical. So yeah, I think that's my thought on it. So just because the whole purpose of this video is to give y'all my background and to let y'all know, if you are a single mom right now and you're battling this, just know being a whole human by yourself is better. A whole healthy human, mentally, physically, emotionally, financially, is better than to be in an unhealthy environment, because that unhealthy environment is gonna do more damage to your child than you just being by yourself. I know you want your child to, be in a 2-parent household, but it's better for them. The health of the household is better than the quantity of the persons that's in a household. So if you take anything away from this video, take that away, okay? So what else I was about to say? That's pretty much it. I just been grinding. I've always been a determined person. I always knew I would be successful at something, but Mackenzie definitely helps out with me, my momentum of keep going. So yeah, that's it. I hope you guys enjoyed today's Wine Wednesdays. This is Wine Wednesday, so make sure y'all leave comments down below. Let's chat. And yeah, I'll see y'all next Wednesday. Bye.